Let's watch. This is Sir P. Now, today we have a very tragic story, and it just shows you how fate is a hell of a thing. I'm saying fate, me I talk about F-A-T-E. There is a man by the name of Scot Bamburry. He was in the media, guess you could say. He got some amount of popularity after his story broke because he was a university graduate and he was working at a car wash. He graduated from the Caribbean Maritime University in 2008, and up until the point of the interview, which was May 2021 with the Jamaica Star, him still never get a job in the field where him want work and the field that he was qualified for. Now, I actually play a small clip from the Jamaica Star. You can go up and find them YouTube channel and check it out for yourself. Just search for CMU graduate, Scot Bamburry, and you'll see the full interview. I'm going to just play a small clip so him can explain it better than I can. So check this out.
Past student of Clarendon College, and after Clarendon College I've attended Bethlehem Moravian College, Teachers College, for about a year or two, and then from there to Caribbean Maritime University. At Caribbean Maritime University I did a diploma in international shipping and logistics. I really wanted to have worked on the Wharf as a stevedore. They do the lashing and unlashing of containers and so forth. So that was my most interest in going into Caribbean Maritime University. I've graduated from Caribbean Maritime Institute, or university, from the year 2008. And up until now, I haven't gotten a job in the shipping industry to feel off my diploma experience at Caribbean Maritime Institute.
So how do you feel being trained and then you're doing this? You feel frustrated?
It's a lot of frustration knowing that I've been to that institution for quite some years, 3-4 years should be exact. And after training and getting what I am there for, I can't afford to get a job, or out of the many that I've sent out there said they can't afford to pay me.
Well, after that interview, Scot Bamburry ended up landing dream job, as in the exact job where he want and qualified for. Today, we have to announce some tragic news. After getting his dream job, Scot Bamburry whole situation just turned into a complete nightmare. The man is now missing. He might do the lashings upon the ship and him dropping in the water. And since then, nobody has seen him. I'm going to play a little clip from somebody down at the wharf who record the exact location which what him drop off and go in the water. It's a short clip, but I give a better idea what me I talk about. Because so you have the loading and the unloading of the container then. You have to see exactly which part him drop from. So that's it for your screen. Up until the recording of this video, he's not been found. I don't know if something is going to change by the time it drop, but it's not looking too good. Of course, he's not been officially pronounced dead, but at this point, we basically have to expect the worst. Could be a miracle, could hear say them find him somewhere alive, but to be honest, that is more wishful thinking right now. This man fight long and hard until he finally get the work where he really want. This just show you how fate can be cruel sometimes. He was working at a car wash, doing various things, construction, painting and anything there. In the interview with the Star, you can see him and them, look like he's been doing some serious work. And he mentioned, say, him not a problem of doing work, but it's just that is not his ideal job, that is not his dream job. In the ideal scenario, it's smooth sailing from this point on. In the perfect world, after getting the dream job, then everything else just open up in front of him. But instead, we are reporting that this man's body is missing. Dropping at the sea, nobody can find him. Coast Guard look, me see them put out all the resources them have so far, them to find him. Very, very unfortunate circumstances. And as you can imagine, his family and community must be devastated because after going in the papers and people hear him story, enough people were rooting for him. When he finally get the job, everybody proud, everybody has to see it there, things looking up. And out of nowhere, as them say sometime, chicken Mary, out the near. Now, I want to understand something. Any country in them, when you go do any kind of course, any kind of degree, whatever you do, one of the questions you have to ask yourself is there a market for this? And if it's something that is very specialized, you might have to go wait a while for your work. And contrary to popular belief, nowhere in the world people just graduate from university and just magically just drop in one job. When they go Europe, when they go North America, you'll be very surprised if you know a restaurant to eat and when you talk to the waiter or the waitress, them tell you say them just done graduate from school. Them kind of oversell the whole degree thing, right? Make it sound like after you graduate you go just rich, and enough people realize say they must struggle to find out work in the first year or two, especially work where them qualified for, and then them fall into depression because that's not the dream they were sold. That's not the case. Even in foreign, people end up working on Starbucks, people end up working in a restaurant, bartender them thing until them actually find the job that them qualified for. But in Scot Bamburry case, he wasn't waiting the 1 year. He wasn't waiting the 2 year. He might wait for over a decade. He graduated in 2008 and the interview was 2021. So obviously, that right there so is a serious problem. That right there so is not normal. Yes, a year or two maybe, but when you start reach 12 years, 13 years, something is wrong there so. He mentioned say one of the reasons is because people actually couldn't afford to pay him. He was overqualified. That happened to no people in Jamaica. Right. Them get certain qualifications, when time them apply for a job, the job will go tell them say, with the qualification that you have, we can't pay you. So that was actually one of the reasons why people never want to take him on. Him say he would have been willing to take on the work same way. And the truth is, no people say that, but in reality, it becomes an issue. Sure, at first I'm glad to say just at work, but when you realize say you're getting severely underpaid, based on what you're qualified for, then frustration setting back again. So I understand why enough people don't want to take on people who them know say overqualified, because that is eventually going to become a disgruntled staff member, because them know say them should get more money than they might get right now. Very unfortunate case. The whole college thing in Jamaica, college thing all over the world, of course we fully support education, we fully support people self-improving, but a lot of these students are being deceived. How people sell it to them, one time I try to convince them, say, yeah man, this is why you should pay $1 million for this course. Right? It's not what happened in the real world. And the world is changing. The world is not what it was in 1960 and 1970. Enough people who are going to college in Jamaica to do certain degrees are going because their parents push them, because in the 1960s, having any degree was the ultimate level of success. In 2022, that is not the case. And I will go one step further. Enough people only push them pitney to go college because they never go college. And they want to live vicariously through them pitney. In reality, what the pitney want to do in their life don't need to do a college. Now, of course, I have to add a disclaimer. If only pitney don't want to do them. Only money pay for any course they don't want to pay for. But I want you to understand that the world is changing. And I realize that in our culture, we're always about 10, 20 years behind. So enough of the things that my people are running down now are things where the world has shifted away from. So when people go get qualified in this and qualified in that, and think say yes, the world is now my oyster, them realize that the world is gone already. The world already shifted about 2 times. Right? You're in 3rd gear and the rest of the world in a 5th. And suddenly, your degree isn't worth much. So don't get me wrong, because as you know, I have a history of being bad mind, and I don't nobody say my bad mind people for them degree. Right? But I think Jamaica need to focus more on trade schools. This is just my opinion. Everybody love to talk about the Germans and the Chinese and all these different countries that excel, in manufacturing and have a skilled labor force. Well, these countries take trade schools or vocational training very seriously. It's not looked down upon as, a lesser education and like that. I think if Jamaica is truly going to see its young people's potential get unlocked, enough of them need to go into trade schools. University is great, depending upon the career you want to go into, because some career you must have a university degree. But enough of them young people will fall by the wayside. Enough of them will drop out of university. They would have done well going to a trade school and getting a career that will last them a lifetime. A skill that is truly useful in the real world. You might not get the clout of bragging, say I have a degree, but you'll be surprised to know, enough people go trade school end up out-earn people who go universities because they're not burdened with large amounts of debt. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Do you want to do? Do you want research? Make your own decision. Now before the video end, I just want to make it clear. CMU, where Scot Bamburry go, is a maritime university, as the name suggests. Let them focus on. But when I'm talking about university, I'm talking about the more traditional universities. But anyway, H Squad, big up on yourself. Yeah, you don't know, more life. Ultra Squad, stay circling. Bless.